So this beast behind me is my very old and very used HILLEBERG Keron 4 GT tent, originally retailing at £1,670, and I managed to get this beast for 200 squid. Now, without stating the obvious, if you've seen my previous video in this series, you can see this tent is very faded, and in this episode I'm hoping to sort that by restoring this tent to its former glory. Now I'm going to start by detaching the inner from the outer fly sheet, because the plan is to re-dye this outer fabric. I have already done another video on this tent where I unboxed it, gave you a good look round, told you my initial impressions of the tent and what I plan on using it for. So if you've not seen that video already, make sure you check it out. The inner's detached. I'm going to finish off giving it a good clean round with some soapy water, and then I'm going to hop onto the MacBook and get ordering some supplies.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Right, so what we're after is some sort of dye. It needs to be like is it a nylon dye? I'm sure it's Kerlon material when it's HILLEBERG, but which is a form of nylon. So we'll go a nylon fabric dye. Now this nylon stuff, I've been reading about it and it says you're supposed to do it in the washing machine. I'm not putting none of this shit in my washing machine, man. I don't fancy doing all like that. It's not worth it, just in case. Although that tulip red looks pretty cool. So the brand I am hoping to get, I think, is this RIT. So let's put RIT fabric dye. See what we're dealing with. Wine, I don't want that. Wine. That looks like a colour that's for me. So £7.50. How many bottles would I need? Who knows? I guess I'll have to have a look in the description. Seems to be a lot of wine. Right, let's get on old T-Bay. RIT dye. See what we've got. All-purpose powder dye. Liquid dye. That's what I need. Liquid dye. So RIT all-purpose liquid dye. This is looking more promising. So colour-wise, what have we got? Scarlet, cherry red. I'm definitely thinking red. Don't want to start getting too ambitious because the tent is already pink. To dye other synthetics, please look at RIT dye more. Right, let's just check that out for now. See what crack is there. RIT dye more. For polyester, nylon and acrylic. So that's more for synthetic fibres as opposed to cotton. So this is looking more suitable, is it? Yeah. I reckon we go for this one. RIT dye more synthetic. So does the other one say synthetic on it? Sorry that I'm going on a bit with this, but... No, that is dye more. What's going on here? Oh yeah, right, RIT. Sorry guys. RIT dye. Does the other one say synthetic on the bottle? I'm on powder dye. Come on, what you doing, mate? Sort it out. Liquid dye. That's dye more. I'm losing plot here. All-purpose dye. Right, so that one doesn't say synthetic on it. Sorry about that. That one really took the piss there. So I want dye more for synthetic fibres. Any cheaper than that? £8.50, £8.25. So colour, let's just, oh, here we go. Here we go. All out of stock. Right, try that other one at £8.50. Ah, now we're talking. So what have we got? Racing Red. I think that's got to be it, guys. Racing Red. Now I need to work out how many bottles of this shit do I need. So, what's the crack? To determine how much dye is needed, weigh the item on a food scale and estimate the weight. As a general guideline, 1 bottle of RIT will cull up to 2 pounds of dry weight. What's 2 pounds in kilograms? 2 pounds in kilogram. Can't type today. 0.1 kilo. Shit, this tent weighs at least. Then again, just with the fly, I'd say it's going to weigh about 2 kilo. Because then you think you've got the poles and you've got the inner. It's only the outer we're dyeing here. So 2 kilos. So I think 2 bottles should be enough. I could always dye it again, can't I? So should we try 2 bottles? A lot of surface area though, isn't there? Yeah, let's just try 2 bottles. Or do you know what? Frig it. 3 bottles? Nah, 2 bottles. Add to basket. Right. Then we also need, let's have a look. Nick Wax. I think it's the gold one. Fabric and leather proof. I'm sure there's Nick Wax. Gold. Is it gold? Why has my internet just dropped? Nick Wax Gold. Have I just made that up? I think I've just made that up, Nick Wax Gold. Nick Wax tent. Ah, this. Solar proof. That looks good. Water-based, waterproofing and UV blocker. Yeah, that sounds exactly like something I need. So 500ml. How big's that one? Got 500ml as well. Talking about a tenner, aren't you, by the looks of it? 10 bones, man. So we've got Nick Wax tent and gear solar proof spray. 500ml looks to be about a tenner. So we'll just get that one there. Get it by Tuesday 17th. That'll do. That'll ding dang do for me. Add to basket.
3,000 years later.
Well, with what seems like an eternity, they've finally arrived. Well, I hope it's them anyway. There we go. RIT Dymo Synthetic Racing Red. So remember when I said I was just going to get 2? The day after I ended up ordering another one. Because I thought 2 won't be enough. And I want it done properly. So we've now got 3 bottles of this stuff. And what also came in the post was the Nick Wax tent and gear solar proof. Well, today's the day. The day we re-dye the HILLEBERG Keron 4 GT. I want this colour close to this colour. I guess we'll soon find out. A few safety precautions so I don't A, burn my hands, and B, get red dye all over the gaff. Super long these bad boys, eh? Look at that. Looks like there's been a murder.
There's been a murder.
Bottle number 2. and bottle number 3. Now we need to get the tongs, and we need to do some constant mixing. Get that submerged fully under there. Fuck. Oh no, that's gonna stain. Big time. It's supposed to be kept just below boiling and on constant rotation. That's why I've got my gloves and this little bad boy. But it's so hot in this room, man. Proper steam room right now. I keep reboiling the kettle just to top it up, hoping to keep the temperature of the water up. Well, what we're thinking? Do you know what? I hope to God this works. It's looking more promising now than what I first thought. But it's just, how will it look once it's all dried off? Obviously it's looking red, but it is submerged in red water. So I guess we'll see. I'm going to leave it for another half an hour longer than suggested, just to see. I'm hoping all this doesn't stain. I think it might. Look at my hands. Pink fingers. That one's not as bad, but still pink hand. Especially there, but it'll be right. Right, I think that'll have to do, you know. I've left that for more than long enough. There's only so long I can leave it, and it's not going to make much more of a difference, I don't think. It does advise leaving it for like half an hour, 45 minutes. It's been in well over an hour. The only thing that might make it not work as good as it should is I've not been able to keep the water temperature as high. Obviously, I've been adding the kettle water, but then that's only diluting the dyed water, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do now is pull the plug out, try and dry it off as much as I can, stick it in a bin liner or something just while I take it downstairs. And then what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going to take it up to a cricket field for the big reveal. Or I might even just do it in garden. But anyway, I'll bring you back tomorrow. Houston, we have a problem. It's actually quite a few days later now because the weather's been absolutely grim. It's been pissing it down. The ground is still wet now, but I had to take my chances and get this tent pitched up. So, it's pitched up right behind this camera. Are you ready for the big reveal? Do you think it's going to look decent? Hopefully it looks red, eh? What do you reckon? I don't know what you think, but I think that actually looks sick. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's not quite HILLEBERG red, but unless you compare it to one directly next to it, you're not going to be able to tell really. And I think it looks so much better than it did, especially with that sort of pink faded shite that it was before. It just doesn't pop quite as much as the standard HILLEBERG red. If you think that's the bag there next to it, it's just a little bit lighter, but still I'm happy with how it turned out. One thing that's certainly stained is my bathtub. I'm still scrubbing that a few days later, especially the rubber cork bit, the silicone bit around the edge. What a palaver. The next thing to do is just to hit it all with a few layers of this. So we've got Nikwax waterproofing tent and gear solo repair, spray on water blocker for UV blocker for tents and bags, adds water repellency, increases fabric strength and protects against UV damage. That's exactly what this beast needs now. Now I'm fully aware by just recolouring the tent, obviously it's not done anything to the strength of the fabric. Hopefully by putting some of this on, it might make a little bit of difference. How much, I'm not too sure. But as long as it looks the business, eh? Right then, if you want to see me out on my first night in this tent, let me know in the comments. Smash the like button. I'm going to be taking this up onto a mountain summit for its first night, for its maiden voyage. Right, click subscribe if you're not done already, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Peace out, in a bit.